Good morning, everyone. This is Brie Edwards, and I just want to say that I'm primarily making this video for my personally sponsored coaches, but I never know who's going to end up watching this. So some of the conversations that I'm using in this PowerPoint slide are some of my conversations from actual customers. So please be just mindful of that and considerate of my customers' privacy. So welcome everybody. I'm super excited to make this video for you. I am going to be talking about two really important subjects as a new coach, and this is kind of dissecting the invite process and making that more of a conversation versus just word vomit, and then also handling objections. There are quite a few objections that you will get as a coach, and currently I'm making this video in December, and this is kind of the season of objections, right? Everybody is saying they don't have the money because of Christmas presents, or they don't have the time because they're wanting to spend holidays with family. Maybe they're saying it's just easier to wait until after New Year's. So there's all of these objections you're getting. And as a new coach, you probably are like, oh my goodness, what do I even say to this? Like, of course, just take your time and do it later. And I'll say that's exactly what I did as a new coach too. And then after I'd been in the business for a few months, I kind of realized that I was doing myself as well as my clients a disservice by doing this. Because when somebody comes at you with an objection, they're often waiting for you to give them a solution. And, you know, the name of my team is Genuinely Fit, and I am a very genuine and kind person, and I am not pushy whatsoever. And so it was really hard for me to deal with objections. And when someone said no, not to just be like, okay, bye, see you later. But our clients are coming to us for us to help them. And part of the way that we need to help them is by learning how to give a solution when somebody gives us an objection and not just give up on them, because they're coming to us for help and they probably have tried many things that haven't worked before. And so it's our job to be able to handle these objections in a way that's kind and genuine and honestly trying to help our clients and figure out a solution for them to be and able to do our programs, because we know that they're amazing, right? We all are here because we've had amazing results with Shakeology and our programs, and we want to share that with people. And by just saying, okay, bye, when someone gives an objection is not sharing that story in a complete manner. So anyways, that was kind of a long introduction. I'm going to pull up a screen share, show you a PowerPoint slide of how to handle objections. And today we're just going to talk about money because, like I said, there's so many objections. We're just going to start slow. We're going to start with money because that's a big one that my coaches are dealing with right now. And then I'm going to dissect an actual conversation that I had with a customer that purchased a challenge pack recently. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we'll get started. Okay, so the title of our slides today is Dealing with Objections for Cost and Finances, Real Examples of Conversations and How to Set Yourself Up for Success. So we'll get to that bottom part in the second half of our PowerPoint slide, but first we're just going to deal with the money objection. So first, I want to say that objections are completely normal. It's something that you're going to get all the time as a new coach. I would say that probably every single one of you who has signed up as my personally sponsored coach gave me an objection to getting a challenge pack. I know for me it was money, and or you gave me an objection to becoming a coach. Think about that for a second. Did you give me an objection for either one of those? You probably did. So like I said, it's normal. It's something that probably all of your clients are going to give you at one point or another. And if we said okay to everyone who gave us an objection, we wouldn't get anywhere. An objection is a natural defense mechanism. You guys have to understand that health and fitness is a really vulnerable subject. It's not something that you typically talk to your average person about. You probably don't really talk to your mom or dad about how you feel uncomfortable with your body. It's something really personal that we keep inside. And so telling someone, even if you're kind of close to them or not, is really personal, and it's a natural defense mechanism to say that you don't have time or don't have money because you're protecting yourself from a vulnerable subject. An objection is a time for you to find a solution for your client. Like I said before, your client would probably just ignore you if they really didn't want your help. If they're giving you an objection, they're asking for a solution. They're asking for you to help them and to help find a solution. You have to know that an objection is not a no. I would say pretty much every single one of my clients gives me an objection, like I said. And I have a lot of clients, and so obviously not all objections are a no. Each objection is a challenge and a lesson for you to learn from, whether or not you are able to handle the objection, or maybe you're not. It's always a lesson and it's always a challenge. So today we're going to be talking about the objection, I don't have the money. Some of the reasons people are using this defense mechanism: their finances are tight. You know, Seattle is a really high cost living area and finances are tight even if you have a middle class job. I mean, I work as a nurse and I totally understand that my finances were tight at one point. Maybe their previous experiences make them use this excuse. Maybe they have bought some expensive programs in the past that didn't work for them and they don't want to spend more money on an expensive Shakeology and Beachbody program that they think might not work. Maybe they want a deal. Maybe they are used to dealing with other multi-level marketing networks that often, if you say I don't have the money, will be like, oh, well, you can get buy one, get one free. That's not really how our company works. We are very honest and we like to give people upfront information, but that could be a reason why people are saying they don't have the money. That has definitely happened to me before. Maybe it's because you are not explaining well. If you word vomit or give a horrible explanation on what a challenge group is and what they're getting for their money, maybe you're making it sound like they are paying all this money for a program that they are doing at home that they think is something they could get at Target for like $20. It's all how you explain it too. Or maybe they really just can't afford it, bottom line, period, end of story. I would say, though, that over 75% of the time, you can find a solution if you are willing to handle the objection and not just say, okay, let's talk about it later. You have to go a little bit deeper. Otherwise, if they really, really can't afford it and it's bottom line, you've tried to handle the objections and they just can't afford it, we always have something to offer, right? We have our free groups that we run every single month, and if you don't have one, I do. And we also have free 30-day membership of Beachbody On Demand. So we have something for everyone. So if they say they really, really, really bottom line cannot afford it, don't just drop them. That's not how we operate. We are here to help everyone, whether that means getting them enrolled in a free group or just offering them some advice for free or giving them someone to talk to. We always want to be there for our clients no matter what. So number one is to break down the cost. These are things that I actually say to people. So, and all of them have to do with the question, I don't have the money. So number one is to break it down. And I say something like this: what really helped me to rationalize the cost was to break it down. Shakeology is a meal or snack replacement. It costs $4 per day and has over 70 ingredients. $4 is a great price for me for a meal that has fruits and vegetables and all that other good stuff in it. For me, there were tons of things I could cut out to help with the price. I bought a lot of Starbucks coffees and breakfast sandwiches, fast food, restaurants, coffee, chips, bleh. So for me, to get a really super healthy meal that gives me energy and helps me with cravings is worth the $4 a day. Is there anything you could see yourself cutting out to try it again? And the reason why this actual example says again at the bottom is because this particular client had already tried Shakeology before, but you could also say, is there anything you could see yourself cutting out to try it? ? And just leave out the again. So this is really breaking down what you're getting for the cost. And in my conversations with the clients, I tell them all the benefits of Shakeology early on in the conversation. So they already know that Shakeology has prebiotics and fiber and vitamins and minerals and amino acids and protein, and that it's so much more than a protein shake and that it's the healthiest meal of the day. They know this, and so I don't have to go into a ton of detail when I break it down. So this is one that works really, really well, and this is probably my number one that I use. Break it down 2.0. Somebody that's coming to you and wanting Shakeology alone versus a challenge pack. This happens a little bit less often, but I really like to give people the most bang for their buck, and getting a challenge pack, especially if it's on sale, is giving them so much more value. So I wanted to make this slide. So what I would say is, so the price of Shakeology alone is $130. Broken down, that's $4 healthy meal per day, which I think is really good for getting over 70 superfoods and your daily multivitamin in your shake. The price for whatever program and Shakeology, which still includes 30 days of Shakeology and gives you the rest: a program, a nutrition guide, containers, accountability group, me as your coach, discounted shipping, and 30 days of Beachbody on demand is $140. And of course, you would be able to win some of that money back for doing the health bet. Does that sound doable? And in this case, the client was like, heck yeah, that sounds doable. That's such a better deal. And I was like, yeah, it really is. That's why I wanted to tell you about it. And right now, the Beachbody Health Bet is what's going on, but you could replace this with, like, if you're doing a deal for a free giveaway or a gift card, you could say, well, of course you would get your free gift card, or of course you would get X, Y, or Z. So this is just showing the value, and it's also helping your client save money and get a better deal, and it's helping you because you get an extra Success Club point. So it's a win-win. Number 2, relate your story. So if somebody says, I don't have the money, I could relate my story. And of course you want to say your own story, but this is just something that I would say. I completely understand. When I first saw the cost of Shakeology, I thought to myself, what? Finances were really tight for me at the time too. I did a ton of research on the product because I was really hesitant to spend my hard-earned money on Shakeology, especially since I have tried other things like that in the past that I did not like. However, my goal of being healthier was my number one priority. I had tried so many things that didn't work in the past and had seen so many success stories with Beachbody. I decided to take a leap of faith. I had to cut back on a lot of extra spending at first, cut down on buying treats, coffees at work, fast food, eating out, extra small purchases, etc. I am so glad I did. I now know that $4 a day is so worth it for me to feel good. Plus, by coaching, I was able to pay for my shakes and make a profit from my first month to this day. I know it sounds scary, but sometimes you have to go outside of your comfort zone to find something that works. So I'm just telling them how it was for me and kind of relating it to how it could work for them. Number 3, the worst case scenario. So if somebody says, I don't have the money, you could say, when I started Shakeology, I told myself that I would take a leap of faith and try it for 30 days. I have tried so many things that haven't worked for me, and I knew that there was a money back guarantee if I didn't like it. I knew that the worst case scenario was that I would have a new workout program and would be a little healthier, even if I didn't like it. I understand money is tight. If you are wanting something that actually works to reach your goal of whatever their goal is, I would recommend just taking that leap of faith. Absolutely everything is refundable if it doesn't work for you. So telling them about the money back guarantee is something that I usually only mention if we've tried another objection and we still are getting to the worst case scenario, because you don't want to give them the worst case scenario first, right? That's just not something you normally do. Number 4, comparing. So compare it to how they can save versus like how they're spending now. I completely understand that this is a big investment in yourself. The funny thing is, Shakeology actually ended up saving me money. True story, guys. I used to stop at either fast food or Starbucks every single day on the way to work. I would grab a coffee and food, and I would get another one at work since we have a 24-hour Starbucks. Blech. Not only was that costing me over $10 a day, it was actually more like $20 to $25, but it was so bad for me. Now I drink Shakeology on the way to work each day. At $4, it keeps me healthy and full of good, nutritious food for less than half of what I paid before. Another way I save is by cutting out the gym membership and the cost of driving back and forth, because I never really used my gym membership to begin with. So I kind of compare it to what they're doing now and how it could save them money. Number 5, prioritizing. I completely understand that this is a big investment in yourself. I know for me, $140 sounded like a lot of money at first, but I had seen so many success stories and just had this feeling that this was going to be different. Since $140 was a lot of money to me, I gave it my 110% effort because you bet I would do my program for the amount of money I invested in it. I am so glad I did. It was my number 1 priority because of what I spent on it, and my results reflected that. I think with some other programs or even the gym, the cost is just low enough so that you don't feel guilty if you skip out on it, and that's why it doesn't work. This program was honestly worth every penny. And these are all true story, guys. I wouldn't ever make up something to tell people. These are all truths from me. So you got to change it around a little bit to fit your story, but you can use these guidelines. So now I gave you 5 objections, or 5 ways to handle the objections if I don't have the money. Now I want to talk about the way that you are inviting people and ask you if you are setting yourself up for success or if you are setting yourself up for failure. So think about this. When you are inviting someone to your challenge group, Is it a conversation, or are you word vomiting and saying, oh my gosh, I'm so excited, the 21-day fix is on sale for $140 and it's so great and you should join right now? Which one are you doing? Because it should be a conversation that goes back and forth for like 5 to 10 times before you ever talk about the price or send a link to sign up. You don't just send them a link and word vomit all over them, because that's way too much information and you probably aren't explaining and figuring out their goals and getting them excited and invested in the product. Do you mention the value of Shakeology in a way that will meet their goals? When are you mentioning Shakeology? Are you waiting until you give the price and then saying, and then by the way, Shakeology is all about this and this is how much it costs? Or are you talking about Shakeology after they tell you their goals and weaving it into how it will help them reach their goals? Are you giving them enough information? If they're really interested in the science behind Shakeology, are you sending them a video? Are you sending them videos or transformation pictures about the program that they want to do? Or are you, again, just word vomiting and talking about how excited you are for them to sign up? It really needs to be a back and forth conversation. You really need to be focusing on their goals. You need to be telling them stories about how it works for you and how it's worked for other people and getting them excited about it. So now I'm going to dissect an actual invite from one of my clients. I've taken out some information that would be identifiable and just some personal things that I didn't feel comfortable including, but this is actual conversation from a recent challenge pack that I sold, and I really want to talk you through how I did this and show you how this becomes a conversation with your client. So let's say that somebody has reached out to you for information, or you contacted someone and asked them if they were interested and they said yes. And again, we're not contacting someone out of the blue and saying, oh my gosh, 21-day fix is so amazing and I had these awesome results, would you ever want to try it? Usually the people I'm contacting have liked some of my fitness posts and I'm like, hey, thanks so much for liking my fitness post. I have an awesome challenge group coming up. Is that something you would be interested in? And at this point they've said yes. And so this is the first thing I say. I ask them if they want more information and they say yes. So I say, so how it works is my groups run 3 to 4 weeks. You pick a program based on what types of workouts you like. You get a custom nutrition plan and color-coded container to teach portioning, not a diet. You get a 30-day supply of Shakeology. You get a private accountability group to make sure your program doesn't gather dust, and one-on-one support to reach your goals. This group is a private group here on Facebook, or you could say the app if you're using that. No one can see what goes on in there except for us. This helps them to know that it's not going to be blasted on their wall. We post about our goals, our health and fitness journey, what's on our minds, the ups and downs, anything. It's a super supportive group of ladies that quickly become close. We just support each other, share our ideas and recipes, cheer each other on in reaching our goals. It's so fun. So that's just, you want to give them a little bit of information, not word vomiting on what your groups look like. Not talking about the cost, not talking about the programs, not talking too much about Shakeology yet, just giving very basic overview of what the group will look like. So typically at this point, they respond and say it sounds great, and they often will ask you, but how much does it cost? Or they don't respond at all, and you need to follow up. I was so guilty about not following up when I was a new coach, and if somebody didn't say anything, I would just be afraid and then not want to continue the conversation. So now what I do if someone doesn't respond to me is I send them a little message that says, hey, absolutely no worries if the program isn't for you. I just wanted to share the information with you. Let me know either way. And this totally puts them off the hook, and most of the time they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I opened it and never responded to you. Or sometimes they're like, you know what, now it's just not the right time. But you have to follow up with them, because I would say most of the time people are just kind of afraid of taking that next step. It's another defense mechanism. And if I send that message that says, hey, just wanted to make sure you got my message, they're like, oh yeah, I'm still interested, and then we move forward. So let's say they responded and says, it sounds great, how much does it cost? So I say, every program I do is customized on your goals and your needs. If you are interested, I could send you a few questions and see what program might be right for you and give you a quote. And at this point, they will either say okay, or they won't respond. And again, you need to follow up. So if they say, okay, these are the 3 questions I ask. What are your biggest health and fitness goals for yourself? What is your favorite type or types of exercise? Do you ever find yourself skipping meals, eating out a lot, or treating yourself to coffee, candy, chips, fast food, etc.? So here's why I ask these questions. Biggest health and fitness goals. You want to get them excited about doing your program and see if honestly, from the bottom of your heart, our programs in Shakeology are going to work for them. Maybe they won't. We have to know what their goals are so that we can tailor the programs we send them and suggest to them, and we can see if what we have to offer is going to be the right choice for them. Because we're not like other network marketing companies where we're all about the sale. We are really about helping our clients get amazing results. So we have to know their goals and all of that information in order to help them. Knowing what favorite types of exercise they like or what they don't like. You could also ask, like, what have you tried in the past that has not worked? That's a great question. So this will help with customizing the programs that we're going to send to them to look at. Asking if they ever find themselves skipping a meal, eating out, or treating themselves. This is so important to ask because this is how I'm going to weave Shakeology into how it can help them in their day-to-day life. I'm a huge believer in Shakeology. I think it's amazing, but I totally understand that it can sound expensive at first because a lot of people think that Shakeology is just a protein powder and that they could go to Target and buy a $20 protein powder and it would be just as good. But you guys know that that's not true. Shakeology is not a protein drink. It's a superfood, healthiest meal of the day, dense nutrition drink, and it has over 70 amazing ingredients, and it's so much more than a protein shake, and it's so good for you. So when I ask these questions, 9 times out of 10, somebody is going to say that they do one of these things. Shakeology can help if you're skipping meals because it's a meal or a snack replacement. Shakeology can help if you're eating out a lot because it helps with cravings, and when you drink it, say on the way to work, you aren't going to stop for fast food because it's going to keep you full. Shakeology will help if you're treating yourself because it helps with cravings, and it helps with your energy level if you're getting a lot of coffee. So you can see by asking this question, I'm setting myself up for introducing Shakeology and how it can help my client. So this is an actual client's response. And like I said, I took out some information that could be identifiable. So she had said her biggest goal is to lose 60 to 80 pounds. She gained a lot of pounds while pregnant. She needs motivation. She's a new mom. She's exhausted all the time. She wants to work out, but she's so tired and she wants to spend time with her family. She loves cardio of any kind. And then as far as eating out, she said she is not a huge coffee drinker and she doesn't eat out that much. So that's what my client said. So next, you want to acknowledge all of the things that your client just said. You need to read what they said and really think about it and think about if and how our programs can help them to reach our goals. So in this case, I responded to my client and I said, okay, I think your goals are totally doable in the long term. Remember, she said she wants to lose 60 to 80 pounds, so I didn't promise her, like, okay, you're going to do 21-day fix for a month and then you'll lose 60 pounds. It's going to take a while. It's going to take every week losing maybe 2 pounds, something really, really attainable, really doable that she'll be able to keep off and not gain back. So I said, your goals are totally doable in the long term. I'm not a mommy yet, but I relate to that feeling of exhaustion. The programs in Shakeology have really helped me with focus and energy. It's really a paradox. You feel exhausted, so working out sounds like the worst thing in the world, but actually doing it will give you more energy. It's a weird thing, and it's hard to be motivated on your own. That's where my groups come in. All the ladies in there are in the same boat as you and will be cheering you on. One thing that will really help being able to work out is having the workouts at home. That way you don't have to find childcare, you don't have to waste time driving to the gym, you don't have to buy a membership, etc., etc. I also love your goal of loving yourself and your body where you are at. That is a big focus in my groups. So you can see that I've taken her goals, I've acknowledged them, I've told her they're great, I told her they're attainable, I've mentioned Shakeology and how it can help her with focus and energy. I've acknowledged that working out when you're tired is really hard, and I've given her the solution of not having to go to a gym and doing workouts from home. So this is a really good response that acknowledges her needs and gives some solutions. Then I'm going to continue telling her how our programs will help, and this is where I brought up Shakeology. So I kind of already mentioned, like, Shakeology will help you with your energy level and getting in meals a day when everything is crazy, and you'll be able to work out from home. But now I want to give her even more information about Shakeology because I want her to see the value in Shakeology. So I said, here's a little bit more info about Shakeology. Shakeology is a superfood smoothie or shake that has vitamins, minerals, fiber, probiotics, amino acids, superfood, fruits, veggies, protein, etc., and it replaces a meal or snack each day. I did a ton of research on it going in, and there is nothing else out there quite like it. For me, I traded it for my breakfast. When I was working night shift and always had it on the way to work, I was able to stop getting fast food, 2 to 3 sugary Starbucks and Starbucks breakfast sandwiches because of this. Such a big win for me. It really helps me with weight loss, maintaining energy levels, especially on nights, meaning night shift, and keeping my GI tract healthy. So I'm introducing how Shakeology works, what's inside of it, what the benefits of it are. Since she didn't mention that she needs to help her blood sugar or diabetes, I didn't mention stuff like that. It replaces one meal or snack each day. It's so healthy. It is safe to use while breastfeeding, but of course you should always check with your particular doctor. So if you are not a nurse or a medical professional, I would not even mention it's safe to use while breastfeeding. This particular client is breastfeeding. I am a nurse. I know tons of people who use it while breastfeeding. I'm very familiar with the ingredients in it, so I felt comfortable saying that with the caveat of checking with your doctor. If you do not and your client is breastfeeding, I would say, I know people who use it while breastfeeding, but it's always best to check with your doctor. Most people in here are not medical professionals and should not be advocating to use it if they are pregnant, and they should always check with their doctor first. And we even have a letter that they can give to their doctor, which you can ask me for if you need help. So after this, your client will most likely say, that sounds great, but how much is it? Or it's too expensive. This particular client already knew how much Shakeology cost because she had used it a really long time ago. And she had said she liked it, but it was too expensive. So this bingo is where you enter in one of the ways to handle objections that we talked about earlier. And so this is what I said, which we already talked about, but I'll just repeat it again. What really helped me is to break it down. Shakeology is a meal or snack replacement. It costs $4 a day, blah, blah, blah. $4 is a great price for all of that good stuff. For me, there were tons of things I could cut out to help with the price. I bought a lot of Starbucks coffees and breakfast sandwiches, fast food, restaurants, cookies, chips. So for me to get a super healthy meal that gives me energy and cuts down the cravings is worth $4 a day. Is there anything you could see yourself cutting out to try it? If you have a positive response, continue with your invite. If you have a negative response and they're like, I don't really know what could help, what I could cut out to help with this cost, try to help them find something, talk them through it. You ask them those questions, see if they said that they went out a lot or skipped meals or gave themselves treats in the beginning. You know that they're spending extra money on those things and you can help them there. If not, try to find another way. Do you have a gym membership? Do you pay for anything that you don't use? That kind of thing. Or you can use another one of the objections that we talked about, like maybe the money back guarantee. So this is what my client said. I could totally cut out coffee. We have an espresso machine at home, but I typically end up going to Starbucks and spending about $5 a day. Bingo! It really does add up. Also, I think I drink too much coffee and have bad caffeine headaches. Another reason why Shakeology will help. I think the Shakeology would be good because my breast milk is struggling from being sick, not eating right, etc. I think I could definitely afford the Shakeology. How much is it to be a part of the program through you? Guys, this is amazing. So this is a client that had just told me I absolutely can't afford it. I'm a new mom. I don't have the money. It's Christmas time. And just by giving this objection and breaking it down, now she's like, I can totally afford it. And I'm wasting $5 a day on something that's not helping my health. This is why when someone gives you an objection, you don't just say, okay, come talk to me when it's a better time for you. She was asking me to help her find a solution, and I helped her find one. And by cutting out Starbucks, she is going to be able to lose weight. She is going to feel better. She's going to get rid of those caffeine headaches. Her breast milk supply might get better. There are going to be so many solutions for her just because I helped her battle this objection. So battling objections doesn't have to be a yucky and hard thing. So after this, continue to offer solutions, and now it's time to send them the programs that you have in mind for them. So I said, there you go. That's what I did too. You'd be amazed at how much you would save. Dang, Starbucks. Or if you really want a coffee one day, you could go to a regular coffee stand instead of Starbucks and it'll be about $2 cheaper. Because let's be honest, she's probably not going to never get a coffee again. That sounds like it would work out wonderful for you. Why don't you check out these 2 videos? Notice she asked for a price, but first I'm going to send the videos. They're both on sale this month, and it would only be $10 more than Shakeology alone. Both would be easier than Insanity, which she tried before, but still has the cardio you like. So 21 Day Fix is a combo of weights, cardio, Pilates, and yoga. It's 30 minutes a day. It has a really simple portion control system to follow, which I love. This is a great one if you need help in that area. It's 3 weeks long. Lastly is Core de Force. It's kickboxing and MMA style, 25 to 50 minutes long. Makes you feel like a badass, and it's so fun. Also comes with the same nutrition plan, and it's a month long. So here, you will notice that I gave YouTube links. In the Coach Online office, there is a spot where you can access videos to send to your clients. And when you send them these videos, it kicks them to your Beachbody website, and the video will pop up on the screen. Personally, I don't like this. I feel like it's salesy. I don't like using the website for my sales at all. There's way too much information on there. My customer can go on there and get completely lost in all of the tabs and all of the windows. So I like to use YouTube. And I have a list of YouTube videos that are only 2 minutes long each. And this is what I share with my clients. And I tell them when I send these videos are only 2 minutes long each. Will you be able to watch them right now? Because you want to create urgency and you want to not have this process stretch out over days and days or weeks and weeks. So I send them the videos. I tell them they're 2 minutes long. Most of my clients are very familiar with YouTube videos, and it's a lot less salesy to me than sending them to the Beachbody videos that are longer and go to my Beachbody website. So I send them these quick little videos and tell them, can you get back to me right away? So at this point, my client said 21 Day Fix looks great. So she gave me a positive response, and I'm now going to continue with the pricing. If she were to say, you know what, neither one of these programs really look like they're my thing, I'm not sure how I feel about it, then I would just try again for another program, maybe ask some clarifying questions on what she's looking for. So at this point, I'm okay with finally bringing up the price. You can see that we've had lots of back and forths before we ever mention the price, because I want her to see the value, see how it's going to work in her life, become invested, so that she knows that her money is going to be well spent by the time we get to this point. That way, she's very less likely to give me a strong price objection after I mention this, because we've already talked about it and we've already shown the value. So I say, the price for everything would be $140, and I break it down. This includes 30 days of Shakeology, which is the $4 per day meal or snack replacement, and you get the rest of it, the program, nutrition guide, containers, accountability group, me as your coach, discounted shipping, and 30 days of Beachbody on demand for the remaining $10. So $140 total. And of course, you would win some of that money back for doing the health bet. Does that sound okay? If you have a positive response, continue with the Shakeology flavor. If you have a negative response, you need to go back to handling the objection of cost. So at this point, she was like, yep, that sounds great. We already talked about how she could make it work in her life. And so I said, which flavors of Shakeology sound good to you out of chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, cafe latte, greenberry, vegan chocolate, or vegan tropical strawberry? So I kind of put it in this order for a specific reason. I want to know what flavors sound good to them, and I also kind of want to group together the ones that come in a combo pack. So as you know, that's chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, chocolate, vanilla, cafe latte, greenberry chocolate, vegan tropical strawberry. So that way, if I put them in this order, they're more likely to pick flavors that come in a combo pack. And if they do pick a combo pack, just make sure to tell them that the combo comes with 24 servings, whereas the bag comes with 30 servings. At this point, I need to think critically. Does it make sense for them to become a discount coach, or should I enroll them as a customer? Most of the time, you will be enrolling a new client as a customer because we want them to go through the vital process of getting in the challenge group, having amazing results, and then continuing with Shakeology as a discount coach or a working coach if they really liked how it worked for them. In this client's example, if you remember, she told me she had 60 to 80 pounds to lose. This is not going to happen by doing one round of 21 Day Fix, and I told her that. I told her it's going to take multiple rounds of 21 Day Fix, and I am a firm believer that she's going to need Shakeology to cut down her cravings and to help her lose that weight. And so I felt like this was a good example of somebody who would make an amazing discount coach right off the bat, because she's going to need to repeat 21 Day Fix for months before she'll reach her goal. And I'm willing to do that with her, but I need to know that she's getting the right nutrition and that she's on track, and that the money she's spending every month is going to keep her motivated to continue to reach her goal. So I said, one question I have for you is, are you willing to stick with this long term? It sounds like you had amazing success with Insanity in the past, so I can only imagine you will rock it again. I'm asking you because with the 60 to 80 pound weight loss goal, I think it will take several months to safely reach this goal in a way that we can keep it off. I would recommend to stay on Shakeology and to repeat your 21 Day Fix for several rounds too. If you are up for that, or at least trying, I could sign you up as a loyalty account so that you will get a discount. You would also save a lot since you are in the military, because this particular lady was affiliated with the military. And just for you that don't know, if you are either a military wife or if you are actively in the military or retired military, you can get a discount in the sense that your coach fee to sign up will be waived and your coach business fee will be waived. And so normally Shakeology is like $130 to $140 depending on tax if you get it monthly. And then in Seattle, the Beachbody Coach monthly fee is $17, and the Shakeology with the discount is a little bit over $100. But for her, since she is affiliated with the military, she won't have to pay that business fee, and she's going to be getting her monthly Shakeology for just over $100 every month. So that's a huge savings for her, and she's going to need it for several months. And so this is something I often mention to people who have over 20 pounds to lose. I use this exact same process with somebody just last week who has about 60 pounds to lose. And she signed up for a discount coach as well because she is going to commit to Shakeology. She wasn't military, but she'll still save money, and it was a good deal for her. So if they say yes, you're going to use the Coach mobile app or whatever process you use to sign people up to send a coach invite. If they say no, say that's absolutely fine. You can just be a regular customer. This is what the price will be, and use the Coach mobile app or whatever you want to send the customer invite. Also at this point, I break down how a loyalty account works because I don't want them to have any surprises. So I say, how a loyalty account works is your monthly Shakeology, and anything you buy from now on will be 25% off. So instead of paying close to $140, it will be about $100 with all your discounts. It will just require the paperwork for military, and then I need your email and a phone number to sign up. This is what you need if you use the Coach mobile app, which is my favorite way to sign customers or coaches up because it's the easiest and it sends them a customized link. So you need their email and phone number. So I'm going to explain at this point, after I enter in her information in the Coach mobile app and I send it out to her, then I'm going to tell her what to expect when she signs up. I'm going to let her know that I'm waiting, so I create urgency, and I'm also going to create excitement by re-summarizing her goals. So I say, oh, she was asking me if she has to do the military form right now. So I just said, do it within 30 days of signing up. And when you go to sign up, it is going to say become a coach. Don't worry. You won't have to be a coach at all. It is just how you get the 25% off. Plus, you will have no monthly fee because of military, meaning you get your Shako on the cheap. So I sent her the link and I said, okay, girly, the link is sent to your email. Here's the military document instructions and cover sheet. I will send you a welcome email too after you are all signed up, so let me know right away, creating urgency. So excited. We are going to help you reach those goals in no time. And there you go. Congratulations. That is how you do an invite from A to B with handling objections. And I also got a new discount coach from doing that. And she's happy. I'm happy. It's all great. So after they sign up, you need to send them getting started info. If that's something you don't have, ask your upline for help. If you're one of my personally sponsored coaches, you can ask me and I can send you the email that I use for my clients. And then if you realize, if you realize that they haven't signed up, you need to follow up if they haven't submitted their info and just say, hey girl, I'm saving you a spot in my next challenge group, but I noticed you haven't signed up yet. Is there anything I can help you with, or something like that, to figure out what's going on and then go from there. So I'm going to stop my screen share here. So you guys, I hope that was helpful for you. I know this was a little bit of a longer video, but I think it had some really good content. And I think this is super, super helpful for you to learn early on in the game as a new coach. It's something that I wish I would have been better at in my first few months. And if you really learn how to master it and kind of go at it with the attitude that you're not being annoying or disgenuine by handling objections, you're going at it with a goal in mind and with a happy heart and with that mindset that you are helping somebody. So objections don't have to be a scary thing. They aren't a no. And we're just coming at it from a place of grace and trying to help people with their fitness goals. So I hope this was helpful, you guys, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. If you have any questions, you can either comment below if you are not on my team, or if you're one of my personally sponsored coaches, you know how to get a hold of me. All right, guys, talk to you later.